let's record. I'm going to save this patron show. Move on over to TMS. Oh, I did it on the wrong file. That's wonderful. Hold on. We're going to cut that off of that, and we're going to paste that right here. Save. Okay, Brian, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Here goes then.
Okay. All right.
Here goes then. It begins in 3, 2, 1. Wait, volume is good. Yeah. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, are you gonna keep running away? You wanted this fight in the first place.
No, that's not the answer.
Then what is?
This is.
The morning stream into daring rescue action.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to TMS. It is the morning stream for Tuesday, September 24th, 2019. I'm Scott Johnson. That's Brian Ebbett. Hi, Brian Ebbett.
Hi, Scott Johnson.
I understand you.
With special bonus friend, a headache.
Now, I was going to say, I hear you're nursing a headache. Does that, and you'd said before the show that doesn't happen very often, but what is your go-to remedy? What do you do when you got a bad one?
Well, we should have started with the much lighter AM 70s radio version of the theme. Because, boy, that one...
that was a good point. I didn't even think about that as I was prepping for it. Like, anything too loud is going to be annoying in your headphones.
And as long as we don't have any guests on the show today who like to yell, any special guests who do any sort of loud voices, screaming.
Yeah. I don't think,
Oh, yeah?
like that. No, I don't think we have anybody. I think we're okay.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, he informs me that that's. Hopefully, he won't be too loud. So you don't even get drunk, hungover. You don't even get hungover very much. Like headaches are just not.
No.
Yeah.
And I really, despite all the times I was talking about drinking on the show last night, we recorded ANTP last night. It's an episode that you'll hear in 2 weeks.
Yep. Brand
new episode coming out today. But even though I was talking about like, oh my God, I need another swig of whiskey for, eliminating another contestant, I didn't have a drop of alcohol yesterday.
Maybe that would have fixed it. Maybe you'd have no headache today.
Maybe that would have fixed it.
I don't know.
Little hair of the dog that I didn't have.
Yeah.
The hair of the dog I didn't walk.
Now there's a phrase. I sound like Obi-Wan Kenobi. I've not heard in a long time. No, I've never understood what hair of the dog means. What the hell is?
Right.
You
know what it means. You know what the phrase means.
I don't know what it means. Well, it means I want to drink, right? Like it means I'm going to drink a little hair of the dog, but I don't get it.
Right. I mean, it means that I'm hungover, and rather than fight it with a remedy, I'm just going to have more alcohol so that it eases me back in. But I don't know why, like, are you saying that last night you consumed the dog and you feel bad about it, so the next morning you're going to eat some of its hair?
Yeah, that's a weird. That can't be, right? That's not what they mean. Okay, Urban Dictionary says.
Yeah, I want to know the origin. Oh, I guess it's hair of the dog that bit you. So the dog bit you.
Oh.
Last night and gave you a hangover, and so now you're going to eat its hair.
All right, well, it says
still
doesn't make sense. Yeah, still doesn't make sense. All right, here's what they say. Hair of the dog, top definition.
Right, okay.
An alcoholic beverage consumed as a hangover remedy. The phrase comes from the expression hair of the dog that bit you, meaning that the best cure for what ails you is to have some more of it. In ancient times, it was literally used to say that if a dog were to bite you, putting the dog's hair into the wound would heal it. Like cure,
really?
Like a cure. The hangover remedy is not recommended because A, it leads to bad habits and drinking, blah blah blah.
It's really amazing that we evolved. Like it's amazing that we survived the dark ages, right? Like with stuff like that. It's like, oh, you got bitten by a dog? Let's shove some of its ratty hair in the wound. Oh no, we're almost extinct from doing stupid things like that.
Oh well, Roman has fallen. Yeah, like. It's a jacked up idea. Don't put the hair of the dog that bit you in your arm. What are you doing? That's a bad idea.
They say the hair is the cleanest part of the dog.
Oh, hey. Anyway, it's an old Roman myth, and now we've learned what that means.
Right.
Well done.
Do you think we're gonna have stuff like that people are looking back and 200 years and saying, yeah, can you believe that people actually thought that doing blah 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 was a miracle cure for?
Imagine in your scenario, what would have to happen is the world would have to be just utterly destroyed, and it would have to rise again. Society would have to come back, and then they would have to do basically archaeological style understandings of our time, and it's gonna be the worst possible time because we have so much of it, and it's so much shared now over so many channels, be they internet or otherwise. So they're going to see things like YOLO and freaking selfies, slofies.
Oh no!
Like it's just going to
avocado toast. Oh my god, it's going to
get real stupid. Like at least we can look back and go, oh, hair of the dog. This one thing we can point all the way back then. But who knows who started YOLO? I think it was Bieber.
Right.
But anyway, you know what I mean. Like they're going to have all these stupid. Like Yas Queen. Who's gonna dig up the thing that says Yas Queen and have to try to figure that out?
At one point, the affirmative, a phrase for affirmation was "okay." That was actually a thing for a while. Wow.
Yeah. Or yeet. Or
Yeet.
Or your nails were on fleek in 2012. Or.
Oh man. All right. So maybe. Maybe compared to now, shoving hair into the wound where a dog bit you, that might have been the smart times.
Well, the lesson is don't put dogs anything anywhere. Don't cuddle your dog, hug your dog, but don't put his hair in your open wound.
Right.
All right. Jeez Louises. All right, I got a complaint. I'd like to register a complaint.
Called him a netcast at one point. All right, go ahead, please.
Netcast. Oh my gosh. See, they'll have to decipher. Well, no, we have podcasts, but then later someone really pushed for. You can see a spike in the thing where they pushed for netcast, and then it went down again,
right.
And then nobody talked about it again. Wonder what that's about. And they'll have to try to decipher that, and they won't get it exactly right because no one ever does, right? Just like this.
Brian Ibbett.
Brian Ibbett. Oh, he got that right. He said your name right. Hold on.
That one he got right. All right, good.
Yeah, I got this one wrong.
Brian Ibbotson.
Brian Ibbotson. Yeah.
Ibbotson. Maybe if for a second he was gonna say Brian Ibbott's in the house.
I mean,
and
maybe
we cut it off, or he changed his.
Yeah.
Changed his.
Maybe. Who knows?
Scott Johnson's got quite the unit.
Yeah. Yeah. He still has quite.
Or do you think he was he shipping our names?
Oh.
Was this when we started doing TMS and he was shipping us?
I don't know. That's another thing they have to decipher. What the hell is shipping?
Shipping, right? Exactly.
Right, because you're going to think, oh, the shipping. That's when you move the products from one place to another on a ship. No, it's what Leo is doing to me and Brian with our units.
Scott Johnson's got quite the unit.
Yeah, I do. Anyway, I got to register a complaint. Here's my complaint. My complaint is with Amazon and the old lady who delivered my stuff. Now, let me explain the old lady part. Apparently, in my neighborhood, I don't have a proper postal person. I have an old lady in a Toyota who delivers mail. Now, I don't know how that works. It's USPS. It's United States Postal Service. That's the service being used. Yet, it's a lady in an SUV with her dog.
Not an official USPS white Jeep vehicle, like her own little.
No. And not a uniform either.
USPS.
No uniform.
Right.
She's in like bad shorts, and often her hair is in like curlers and stuff because she's doing mail.
Cliff Clavin would be so angry.
He'd be very pissed. He'd be very pissed. Yeah. Apparently, by the way, Ratzenberger's like a giant Trump fan, which really bummed me out.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Just bummed me out.
Yeah, you know that Sandy Hook thing was a total hoax. Fake news. I guess that'd be more if he was like an Alex Jones fan, right?
Yeah, I guess. But your Cliff is top shelf, dude. It's really
good.
No,
I mean it's kind of a witch hunt. I would much rather believe that Cliff Clavin is a huge Trump fan than John Ratzenberger.
We can do
that. We'll proxy his Trumpomania over to his alter ego.
Yeah, we have the power. We can do it, you and I.
We have the power. Yes, that's right. We have the technology.
So this lady is delivering mail, and that's fine, I guess. I guess this is a thing now that happens. You subcontract down to somebody, and I don't know if it's like the way Uber works or something, where you pay them based on delivered mail, or I don't know. But Sometimes she
I
just
don't know
gets
if I
stuff
like that
wrong.
either. Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes she just gets stuff wrong. And she's a nice enough lady, but she's like 1,000 years old, and I don't know if she knows how to really drive that car. And
She
just-
actually might be like 25, but the constant out in the sun delivering mail has kind of aged her a little bit.
That's good. That's a good point. Her left side of her face is just a melting pot of old. And the other side's fine.
Right. Oh, right. Yeah, because she doesn't even have the traditional mail vehicle that lets her pull right up to the mailbox on the right side of her car.
Yeah.
Correct.
The British driving side. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Wow.
she has to get out of the car and go around, or she has to pull the other direction, which is sometimes in a one-way direction, and she shouldn't be doing that.
Right.
But anyway, it's all very
For sure.
confusing. So I have that combined with Amazon for some reason last week. All right. So last Friday I was supposed to get a package. It was an important one. I got a project I need to get done, and I needed this cable and this memory card to do it. And
Oh, right. Right. I remember us talking about how you've got this cable somewhere in your house. You've never able to find it.
yeah. And so I had to order it, and it wasn't expensive or anything. It was like $8, and I ordered a micro SD card also because I needed it. So I got it all at the same time, and I get a thing. I did the 2-day shipping because that's what I get with Prime. By the way, Prime gives you 2-day shipping.
Right.
Amazon, just to remind you.
That's what you're paying for.
Yep.
Yep.
And then on Friday, we're sorry, something's gone weird. We don't know where the hell we are or what we're doing, so your thing's delayed. And I went, ugh. And it says sometime between the 21st and the 24th. Today's the 24th, right? So that's not 2-day shipping. That's, I don't know what day shipping. That's
mystery shipping.
that's
That is
mystery
like,
shipping. Exactly.
Spin the wheel of fortune and let's see what day you're gonna get your stuff.
Yep, let's see. We're getting something to the Johnsons. Pull the lever. Chunk, 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 chunk. Freaking all nothing matched up. So they didn't deliver it, and they said they wouldn't say a reason on the thing. But when I checked the chat, like the Amazon little support chat, they said there's a report of some weird weather. And I'm like, it says it's in Nevada. It's in Vegas in a holding place. What weather are they having? She goes, well, aren't you having hail right
really
now?
hot.
And I said, yes, we are having. It was a hailstorm day. I said, yes, we are having this weird hail, but that shouldn't affect the guy in Denver, or in Nevada. And she just could not get her head around that. Anyway, I'm like, fine. If it gets here by Monday or Tuesday, that's fine. Yesterday, I get a notice in the morning while we're on the show. It'll be there today. Congratulations, Amazon user. Your stuff will be there today. It's on the truck, right? So I'm like, sweet. I wait around. About 3 o'clock, my phone goes. I pick it up. It says, your package has been delivered. It's in your mailbox. It says it was placed in the residence's mailbox, is what it says. Because it's small,
Okay. All right.
smaller thing. And so I rush out there, and as I run out there, I see lady in car driving away. So I know she's been. She just has been. So it's not like it was a bunch of time passed. There's no time for robbery. There's nothing. She has done her job and moved down the road because I can see her driving. So I'm like, sweet, it's in the box. I go check the box. There's nothing in the box.
Was it the rest of your mail in there at least?
No, nothing in the box.
no.
Box was empty, and all I can think is she put it in the wrong damn box. We have a shared neighborhood, thing, but nobody else is home. I can't check.
Oh, you've got one of those big metal. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where all the different mailboxes are in one lockable.
Yeah, one big lockable unit, because on this side of the thing we have all these expensive freaking townhomes, and then over where I am, it's houses, and we all share. Since they built the townhomes, they built this new mail thing, and now we all share this mail thing. Normally it's fine if you're putting shit in the right box. So I think the lady screwed up. It's the only thing I can think of, and I either have to wait for the kindness of someone who got it, and it's not like I just have one or two neighbors. It's like 50 boxes. So I can't just go to everyone.
Right.
So
there's the likelihood that whoever gets it is going to say, oh, this is wrong, and is going to, put a thing on it that says, deliver to the right address, put it back in their box. She's going to have to take it out. She's going to think it's outgoing mail. She's going to put it back in her truck. It's going to go back to the, the sorting facility, and then finally make it back to you 3 days later.
Exactly right. I'm so inconfident about any of it. I don't know if I'll ever see it. So last night, it was about 5:30 that I'd sort of given up, and then I was on the show with you, and I started at the top of your show, or kind of pre-show. I started getting just irritated, so I got on Amazon got on the chat again, talked to someone named Jacqueline, I think, who said things like this. Now listen, my friend. And then there would be a pause. And then she would say, he or she would say, this is the thing. You should wait till tomorrow. Perhaps it will show up. Did you check all bushes? Did you check bushes? I go, it says on...
Check the bushes?
Yeah, I said check your site. On Amazon.com, it says placed in the residence's mailbox. It says it in your on your website. So, no, it's not in the bushes. And, by the way, I did.
Package left in customers' bushes.
I'm like, I did check the bushes, first of all. Second of all, I asked the one neighbor who was home, like, what else you want me to do? She goes, well, indeed, we will have to do a return and a reshipping if it does not arrive by tomorrow. I have a great feeling you will have by tomorrow. I'm like, no, I have a great feeling that Ned up the road will have it by tomorrow and not know what to do with it because he's too stupid to come find me.
Right.
Frick! I was so annoyed
exactly.
yesterday. Gosh dang it. Anyway,
Ugh.
I was just annoyed.
It does kind of feel lately like Amazon is just giving your package to somebody who happens to be going by your house on their way somewhere else, right? Like sometimes it comes via UPS, sometimes it comes via USPS. Now they have these weirdly unmarked Amazon delivery vehicles that have the a logo with the colors of Amazon, the black and orange.
Yeah.
But it's not the Amazon logo. I think there might even be an arrow.
Oh, like a smile, like a smile arrow or whatever it is.
Like a smile arrow, and it's like, oh, are you heading west? Do you mind taking this and dropping it off at this house? Cool, thanks.
It does feel like it, and you hear all this stuff about how they're going to make their own carrier, like full carrier,
Right.
point to point. And if
Right.
you already live in a city with a close by distribution center, a lot of times you are getting their trucks. I think I would trust that more than. I mean, honestly, I just have a terrible time with the U.S. Postal Service. Just a bad time. Like, I don't know if that's just because a government-run thing is just shitty, or I don't know what, but it's not-
I'm ready for drone delivery. Just
too,
let's
dude.
take human involvement out of this whatsoever.
Yeah.
And let the drones zip around our skies, and
we don't need them. We don't freaking need them.
don't need the people.
No, the people are dumb. We, the people, are dumb. Drones, the robots, are cool. Get those in here. Let's get it going.
Right, exactly.
Anyway, I mean, and the Amazon lockers is an interesting idea. TVZ Guns pointing out they have them at most 7-Elevens, that kind of thing. You can just go and pick it up at one of these
Sure.
places. But my whole point,
Or the garage delivery thing where you give them the code to your garage, they can put it in your garage and stuff.
yeah, or just bring it to me like you said you would.
Right.
I understand those lockers
Bagheera
are cool.
Bagheera, is angry about this. Says, yeah, cut more jobs. We need more automation, less jobs for people. Well,
that's
if
not
people
what
did their
I'm
jobs
saying.
right, I don't think we'd have this complaint.
Yeah, that's not what I'm saying. Also, that's an inevitability, Benjamin. We can get all fired up about it if we want, but automation is a real thing. Like that's a thing that's here, and you best be getting used to it because it's just going to do more and more and more. But anyway, it is a very first world problem, as Sidian points out. I know. I'm just annoyed with it. That's all.
Bagheera one more time says, I'm not angry. I hate people.
All right, you won me back, Bagheera. Nice job.
Yes, exactly.
Got an email from Jeff Sire up in Canada. Speaking of a place whose mail really sucks, so Canada can claim a lot of cool things. Like they're beautiful, they got a lot of nice stuff. They have a great healthcare system. They have all these things, but they have terrible mail. That's awful up there.
Aren't they delivered by the Mounties?
I think they're delivered by Moose because the Moose don't know where to put anything.
Moose, yeah.
I got an email from somebody the other day who says, "Oh, thanks for the free comic card things from Free Comic Book Day. They're awesome. He just got them. We sent them out in May."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, they just showed up today or the other day. I don't get it.
Wow,
Canadians,
that's crazy.
and
That is crazy
always-
delayed delivery.
The patrons we have the most like, hey, I haven't seen my stuff this month. Always Canadian. Like it just doesn't get there. We have tracking. It's out there. We know it's somewhere. I don't know if the guys in customs are going, oh, look at this, eh? This is pretty cool. Oh, I dropped it in the sink. Okay, well, anyway. Like, I don't know what they're doing up there. And it's expensive. You're right. Captain Kipper's right. It's super expensive to send to Canada. So I don't know what they're doing up there, but they don't have the They don't get their mail fixed. Anyway, Jeff lives up there in Bowmanville, Ontario, Canada, and he sent this message in reference to my sister-in-law, Oknon's buying of keyboards at garage sales. We talked about that a little bit yesterday, I think, didn't we? Yeah.
Right. Yep. Uh-huh.
Is that you I talked to?
Yep, because we were talking about my grandmother and her garage sale antics, and her basically buying stuff, marking it up, and selling it at her own garage sale.
Does any of that stuff at that house that you help clean out and get her out of and all that, does any of that interest you at all? Like any of the stuff, or is it all just junk?
Well, I came home with a pinball.
Oh, that's cool. You just need a machine to go with it.
I know. I'm building my own pinball machine. I'm starting with this.
I love that though.
And then we brought home a couple tools, so that when Tristan moves out, he's got a set of tools he can take with him. A set of tools that he can, take out of the toolbox and leave strewn around the house, just like he does with mine.
Sure. Yeah, that makes sense.
I also got the melodica that I played on the show before.
Mm-hmm.
But not much else. I mean, we're not taking a lot of stuff.
It's probably good. You don't have. I mean,
yeah,
I don't.
Exactly.
The last thing I need right now is more garbage.
It's a negative when you walk into that house and see, or when we originally walked into that house and saw all the clutter. It was a deterrent enough. It wasn't like, oh, I'd love this for my house. It was like, wow, this is a lot of clutter. I hope my house never looks like this. I'm not taking any of this stuff home.
Yeah, I know that feeling. That happened when my dad died. We just realized all the stuff he had in storage, and we were just like, I don't think anybody wants this. Like, it's just a lot of stuff. There's not a lot here that's cool, but a pinball's cool.
Yeah,
I like that.
Pinball's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Those would hurt if you threw it at a robber or something.
Oh, it's heavier. It's heavier than it seems like it should be. But I guess, when you're playing the game and you've got one of those older pinball machines where the flippers just don't have the oomph that they used to. And the pinball hits it and pushes the flipper down, even though you've got the button pressed.
Totally.
Yeah.
Hey, by the way, speaking of pinball, sorry, real quick. There's a game on the Apple Arcade called Pinball Wizard. You should try it. You should try it.
Really?
Yeah, it's not pinball like traditional table pinball. You are a wizard who's kind of fat and round, and you go into dungeons, and when you walk into them, suddenly the doors are flippers, and everything you gotta kill in there, or open treasure chests, or get the keys, exit the place. It's all done as if you are a pinball. It's great.
All right. I'm
It's
gonna
great.
download this while we're sitting here, and I'll play it after the show.
Actually, legit fun. You should totally play that.
That's really cool.
Anyway, sorry. So he says about these keyboards while you're putting that in. He says, you said your whole family thinks it's weird and doesn't know what to make of it. There is something I was told while I was in the Army that I really took to heart and might help you deal with this. Here's the quote. If it's stupid and it works, it ain't stupid. Interesting.
It's true.
I mean, we don't think it's stupid, though. We just think it's weird. I don't think it's stupid.
Right. Yeah.
She's making
No,
money.
I don't think it's stupid.
Yeah,
No.
she's making money. It's just an odd thing to find out that your sister-in-law, who, by the way, I mean, it's not that personal thing to say, but my brother and his wife are 100% debt-free. They own their house debt-free. They own two other houses they rent to people that are free, that are paid off, and they just get rent.
Right.
And then they don't owe any money on any cars. Like, they're 100% debt-free because they're uber tight, and part of it might be because she does weird stuff like this, like buy old keyboards and resell them.
Yeah,
Because he just works for UPS, so he's just out driving every day for UPS.
He's just out randomly delivering Amazon packages to the wrong house.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know how he did it.
Yeah.
I still don't know how he did that. Everyone in the chat room's like, wow, I can't even buy one house. No, I agree. It's not like you went out and bought 3 houses. It's been a long time coming, but they are so cheap and so stringent with their money that they just spend not a dime on anything but their debts, whatever they may be, and they're all paid off. It's crazy.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'd love to live like that. I'm not there yet, but I'm working on it.
Wouldn't that be great? We are too. We're trying to pay down the house as fast as we can, but they get you, man. They get you.
Yep.
All right. That's all I had for that. Thanks, Jeff Sire, by the way. I haven't heard from Bronco in a while. Hope he's doing well up there. Him and his awesome wife and his boys.
Lovely people.
Yeah, they are lovely people. Some of the nicest people I ever met. Also intimidating if you don't know him, because he's
Right.
he's covered in leather and rides a motorcycle all the way down to the
Exactly.
States, and he's an adventurous soul, and he works in a giant power plant, like a nuclear power plant kind of thing.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, so he's like just I don't know, he's just a tough cookie, that guy.
I think there's a couple of our listeners I would not want to get in a fist fight with.
Mm-hmm.
Joey Image being one of them, Jeff Sire another.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, neither of those guys. They could put you into the dirt. Although I don't know,
That's
Joey's back is weird, so I could probably dodge out of the way or something.
And Cleo, I think, would be the third one because I think she'd fight dirty.
Yep.
She'd throw sand in your eyes, and then Veronica. Yeah, I don't think Veronica's a listener.
No, but I would never mess with her. But she doesn't listen to anything.
I would never in a million years. I'm still scared from the Battle of the Frog Pants All Stars when she would get all angry about stuff.
Yeah, she would, and you knew it was coming. There was nothing you could do about it. She was gonna get mad.
No.
Yep.
You'd see the eyes, the pupils start dilating. You'd see the hems of her shirt start ripping down the line, like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you don't want to see her angry.
I should say, like, Scott Johnson is my bitch.
I mean, she's a little tiny person.
Yeah.
You know, very petite and small compared to me. I mean, but I was still afraid of her. She'd still kill me.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I remember sitting up there on stage while we'd do this, and I could just see it in your face, like, oh, I'm about to go. I'm gonna have to say, you know what? That's not quite right. I'm gonna have to give it to the other team, and I'm like,
exactly. Like she'd give an answer that was not right, not acceptable, and
yeah.
All right. I'd hide behind. I think what I did once is I hid behind Jeff Sire, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's what you do. Hide behind the big Canadian guy in the back.
That's right. Exactly.
Captain Kipper, what are you sending? Oh, jeez.
Hi, dog.
It's an angry-looking husky in a car.
Gosh, look at him staring you down. That's intense, man.
That reminds me, I need to play some Mario Kart against Luigi sometime today.
Oh, is it Mario Kart Luigi Day, or just that face reminds you of it?
Just that face reminds me of the death stare from Luigi.
Yeah, that sounds about right. Here, chat, in case none of you are in a place you can see this. Here you go. Look at that dog. He is rather intense.
Fixated.
I mean, huskies freak me out anyway.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. The way they look, there's something about them. There's something in those faces. Yeah. They just look so pissed.
It's just borderline wolf.
Yeah. They're going to eat you if you're not
just
careful.
This far away from being a...
In fact, ironically, that's the face Veronica used to make when Brian would make a call in the game.
It really is.
Yep.
Yep. That's exactly the face.
Yep. All right. Time for the news. And we're going to play this for it.
This is your radio newscaster with another exclusive sensational summary of world and local events.
It's the news brought to you by
Jameson's Cause. Want to help a cool dog get better after a horrible accident? Head to GoFundMe and search for Jameson's Cause today.
Sad little story. It's a 1-year-old dog. That's still kind of a puppy, right? If you're one? I don't know.
Yeah.
Got horribly hurt in an accident, and they're trying to get some physical therapy and do some other stuff, so it's worth checking out. Okay. Brian, you like coffee, right?
I do like coffee. I have some right here. I'm down to about a fifth of a glass of coffee, so I hope I make it through Justin.
Did you so you took Excedrin today, which has caffeine in it. You'll probably be okay, I'm thinking. Did the Excedrin work, by the way? Did it kick in?
It's still like one side of my headache right there.
Oh,
there.
right in the front.
Yep.
Right
in the temple.
I don't like that.
No.
Making me hope I don't get one. I get one when the weather gets weird. If it, like when we had the hail the other day for about a half an hour, I had a little bit of one starting, and then the hail came and I was fine. Is that weird? It's a little weird, right?
That is weird.
Yeah.
No, it's pressure.
Barometer, man. Human barometer.
Human barometer.
Anyway, a company for that coffee you got there will pay you $1,000 to drink coffee for a month. Every month they'll pay you $1,000, but you are not allowed to visit a Starbucks. You can't go anywhere near a Starbucks if you do this deal, or the contract.
Totally fine with that.
All right. So it says here, there is no doubt that over the years, small businesses have become increasingly under threat, whether it's local barbers, dry cleaners, or a coffee shop. The franchises that keep rolling into big cities, coffee chains in particular, are on the rise, including well-known companies such as Starbucks, Tim Hortons, the Coffee Bean, Gloria Jean's Coffee, and Dunkin' Donuts. Never heard of Gloria Jean's. That's supposed to be
I
good.
haven't either. Gloria Jean's Coffee.
Is that supposed to be something, chat room? You guys know that?
Gloria Jean's.
Sounds like pants, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
Yeah. I think
All right, I'm going to go to the mall and get some Gloria Jeans.
I think we have the coffee bean here. I
Yeah,
think.
coffee bean I see a lot in airports. Tim Hortons obviously is the Canadian deal. Dunkin' Donuts, back to kind of getting back around the country. For a while, it was just on the East Coast.
Yeah.
There's a local place that I love that's closer to me than Starbucks, and I'll go there. I probably go there more than I go to Starbucks. The only time I'll really do Starbucks is if I'm in kind of a hurry and I can pre-order on my way there, so I can just walk in, get it, and come back out. But Red Silo Coffee, Red Silo Roasters is just a few blocks away from my house, and they're really, really good.
They're always better when they're a single
I think
mom
so.
and pop store.
Yeah. There was a local place here called Mr. Java or something like that, and their coffee always tasted burnt to me, so I stopped going there. But Red Silo Roasters I really like.
That's why Kim doesn't like Starbucks. She thinks all the coffee tastes burnt there.
Tastes burnt?
Yeah. I'm a drinker, so I couldn't say, but I do like a good chai tea, and the best chai tea I ever get is always some mom and pop place. It's never a chain. But anyway, this is so globally, Starbucks is the best example of franchise gone big and with continual, growth. They're the McDonald's of the world of coffee. In fact, they've exceeded them. Of
course.
The U.S. They have 14,000 stores in the U.S. alone. That outnumbers McDonald's for chains in the country. Anyway, in an effort to combat the chain store reaction, an American consulting firm is focused on small businesses, is offering $1,000 to anyone who's willing to buy coffee at only local establishments for a month and then share their experience online. They only have one simple requirement: avoid Starbucks and other big coffee chains. So, Brian, you could do this. $1,000.
I'm signing up right now. I'm on the page.
All right, get in there. and they don't even know that you got like media training. You could talk about this on interviews.
Exactly.
You could totally do this. You should do this.
The trick is 8 different local or 8 different non-chain coffee shops per month. I know of like 3 that are close by. But
so you have to travel.
I mean, really, I'd have no problem finding 5 more that I could get to fairly easily. Oh yeah, there's some in Golden. Oh, this is great.
Yeah, Golden. By the way,
Here,
Golden featured heavily in that show I recommended.
Oh, really? Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. Yeah, man, that was good. That's so good.
Yeah, I keep seeing. I've got it in my upcoming list. We got 3 more episodes of Jessica Jones, the last Netflix Marvel business. And then I think we might do Chernobyl, but maybe we'll wedge Unbelievable in between that and Chernobyl.
I mean, easily 2019, the 2 best things I've seen were Chernobyl and Unbelievable. That's funny because those are easily the 2 best things I've seen this year. They are both amazing.
Right. And it just got all those Emmys, or at least all those nominations.
Yeah, and it should have won them all if it didn't. I didn't pay any attention to it, but I know it won some. Anyway, you should watch that. Brian, let's know how it goes.
On my list.
Yeah, we want to see how this goes with the coffee deal. $1,000.
Yeah, I'll finish filling that application out when I get back, so I can really devote some time to my answers.
Yeah, I like it.
There's a question that I got to answer. Why would you be a good fit for this role? I'm trying to decide if I just write, I love coffee and I love $1,000. If that's my answer.
I love it. I mean, what else do they need?
Exactly. Oh, well, he's a good fit because he loves all the things that we're offering.
Yeah, the coffee that isn't Starbucks and the $1,000.
Right.
Turns out people like that. All right, here's a fun one. A garlic expert. I love this. This is my favorite
garlic expert.
This is my favorite.
Already I'm hooked.
It's my favorite doth protest too much story in a while because it's such a stupid,
innocuous compared to twiddling children or being against homosexual activity or whatever. This
is pretty good. So our garlic expert who crusaded against importing garlic is going to prison for, wait for it, importing garlic. Yeah. Well done, dude. Last spring, Letitia Ware, and then head of the Australian Garlic Industry Association, discussed the country's high standards for its own homegrown garlic. Are you guys known for that? And Gidget, do you guys have good garlic at home? Is that the deal?
Of course, yeah. We're all about the homegrown garlic. We have 8 varieties of garlic that can kill a human being.
Oh, that guy, that voice, that guy you bring out. That Australian guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, it says, they were discussing the country's high standards of garlic and warned that importing garlic bulbs would be problematic on several levels. The problem is that there are countries that use chemicals and herbicides and fungicides that would be restricted or prohibited in the country. And so that's, different contaminations coming in, so they outlawed that stuff. They told this to ABC News, where also suggested that non-Aussie garlic affected already struggling garlic farmers who were still trying to rebuild an industry that collapsed in the mid-'90s because of imported garlic. So it's both shocking and darkly ironic that Ware, who just said all those things, just pled guilty to 10 charges relating to importing more than 2,000 bulbs of garlic. On top of that, she's been fined with it's a lady. She's been fined with $2,000 and sentenced up to 11 months in prison. That seems weird. Shouldn't it be more money or less time?
It does.
Should be
exactly. Like, boy, does that seem uneven. Fine of $2,000 and 11 months in prison.
Yeah, that should be like, if you just said $10,000 and 11 months, I would have went, okay, that's pretty.
Okay, those are more on par with each other, but
2,030 days.
Maybe, right, 30 days in prison, sure.
Jeez, Australia, what are you doing down there? Get your math.
Oh, her breath in prison will just be horrendous.
Yeah, but it'll keep the vampires away. It'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bleh.
Bleh. I can't go there. It says here that, let's see, she used eBay accounts to purchase and import 3 varieties of garlic from Canada and the United States. You don't want that U.S. stuff, man, I'm telling you. It's
no.
Yeah.
Cheap American garlic.
That's right. Can I get a little garlic with my herbicide next time, please? So this is my favorite part. She told her online supporters to label all the packages as office supplies so they wouldn't be required to have information permits. That's pretty great.
These are the stinkiest paper clips I've ever smelled.
Yep. But
Why
again,
does this ream of paper smell like a Olive Garden?
but it goes to my thing again, which is if somebody complains about a thing too much, there's always something fruity going on there. Always.
Right.
Doesn't matter what it is. If you hear somebody who every week is just pounding it down your throat that they just got to go after all the gays, he's gay.
Exactly.
All right, here's a sad story that is sad, but kind of weirdly funny.
Okay. Ooh,
but also sad. A man drowned during an underwater marriage proposal. Let this be a warning to everybody.
Oh, jeez.
If you're going to do one of those weird proposals, like, that put your life in danger,
yeah,
maybe don't do those.
Maybe don't go so dangerous. And maybe it's time we stop that crap.
Yeah.
Let's stop the gender reveal crap. Let's stop the promposals. That garbage. Not everything has to be a viral YouTube sensation.
I agree.
You can just propose to your girlfriend, and let it be something between the two of you, and not something to get 1,000 likes.
I agree. In this particular case, so this is what happened. The guy's name is Steven Weber. Isn't that the name of the guy from Wings? The actor
from Wings. Yeah.
Yeah, Steven Weber.
Steven Weber, the actor who was in the alternative Shining movie that was filmed, I think, more at the Overlook.
Oh, he was. He was Stanley Hotel. He was Jack in that miniseries, right? He played.
Right. He was the Jack Nicholson character. He was.
Is his name also Jack in the movie? And the character was also Jack. Do I have that wrong? Makes Jack
because it was the thing he was repeating over and over was all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. But yeah, Jack Torrance, right?
Oh yeah, Jack Torrance. Okay, it never occurred to me that Jack Nicholson played Jack in that movie, even though I've seen it 1,000 times.
Right.
That's weird.
He was pulling a Tony Danza. Although I guess Stephen King really did write the character as Jack Torrance.
Sure.
Wasn't it?
Book came first, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Steven Weber of Wings fame, He was also in that Single White Female and had a real rough moment in that movie that I recall.
Ooh, yeah, a little stiletto on the forehead, if I remember correctly.
That was pretty rough.
Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen Single White Female.
Yeah, from the 90s. Probably hardly anyone has. But it did have, she was, what's her name? The crazy girl in that was really good in that Tarantino
Jennifer
thing.
Jason Leigh
Yeah.
or Bridget Fonda.
Jennifer Jason Leigh. There was both of them, right? Oh my gosh, it
Yep.
just occurred to me. Jennifer Jason Leigh was in Tarantino's Hateful Eight, and Bridget Fonda was in Tarantino's Jackie Brown.
Jackie Brown. Yep.
And she showed her bum. That was the thing that happened because she.
Bridget Fonda, I don't think was shy about any nudity in the '90s, if I remember correctly. I think she even did some in Single White Female.
Well, that's probably true. Yeah. Yeah, she was. Her and. Can't think of his name all of a sudden. Who was she getting it on with in that movie?
In Jackie Brown.
Yeah. Oh, famous actor. What's wrong with my brain? He, the taxi driver himself, freaking Goodfellas. What's wrong with
De Niro?
me? De Niro, Robert De Niro.
De Niro?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because he was just hanging out at the house, and then they did it by the sink. I'll never forget that.
I need to see that again. That's
It's a weird movie.
That's the one Tarantino film I don't think I've seen more than once or twice, and I own it. I have it on DVD.
Yeah, that's a fun
Day
little...
Vay Day.
Hey, get that 480p out and get that going.
That's right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, good point.
Is that all the DVDs were? 480p? They were, right?
I think, yeah.
DVD resolution. I'm just curious about this. DVD video, which does not stand...
Dunaway would be proud of this, by the way.
Oh, would he?
Yeah, I picked this up. It is the Explosive Cinema 8-movie collection. Picked it up for one specific thing, but
well, this is like a Walmart bin thing kind of deal.
This was an Amazon thing. There's not many ways you can get Hudson Hawk on. It's not streaming anywhere,
right?
And I need to see Hudson Hawk again for something soon. And the 8 movies that I get as a bonus for buying Hudson Hawk includes Hollywood Homicide, The Fan, Stealth, Triple X State of the Union, Simon Says, Vertical Limit, and Lone Star State of Mind.
Wow. The Fan's all right.
The Fan's all right. That was a good one. Snipes and wasn't that De Niro also?
Yeah, it was De Niro. Was
De
the
Niro.
crazy guy. Yeah, it was basically Cape Fear, but in a stalking movie about a baseball player or something.
Yeah. I want to point out the fact that at the very bottom of this thing, it says Hollywood Hits.
It sure does.
Yes, and Hudson Hawk right above that.
Wow.
Hollywood Hits.
Slurp my butt. Yeah, so the resolutions, let's see, 25 frames. Oh no, if you were going to get 29.97, almost 30 frames per second, you had to do 480p. Yeah, it was all 480p back in the day. We used to think that was good. All right.
Thinking?
Here's so anyway, this guy, sorry. So they were staying in a submerged cabin at the Manta Resort off Pembla Island, and I've never heard of this, a submerged cabin.
A submerged cabin?
Yeah, so the windows of the thing is almost like a fish tank, like you just see out into the water because it was down, it dropped down in it. And what he did, and there's a video of this, which is kind of heartbreaking. You don't see him die, but the video is him coming up to the window and pressing a handwritten note, like Charlie style from Lost, against the cabin window, asking her to marry him. And then he just never came up.
Oh, jeez.
So that's awful. Don't do that.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, it's a sad situation.
That's
Jeez.
already, you're already in a submerged cabin. Get on your knee, give her the ring. It's okay. You don't have to go through all that. Just, now you don't have each other anymore. That's a bummer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway.
Ugh.
Bad story, but here's a good story to end on. This is one Brian's
this makes me
excited
happy,
about. Yeah.
Scott.
Yeah. Colorado. We all have to thank Colorado today for something new.
That's right.
Even Utah, apparently. But going topless effectively legalized in 6 states. This is according to a Colorado city's decision to discontinue a legal battle to bar women from appearing topless in public has effectively legalized the risque fashion statement in 6 western states. Fort Collins, Colorado, decided not to continue the challenge in federal court, and that means the ban on topless people in the city amounts to unconstitutional discrimination, they say. and it is no longer a thing. The city had argued that a repeal of the ban would lead women to, quote, parade in front of elementary schools or swimming topless at the public pool. That sounds
Okay, I
like,
can understand the argument about like, oh, we don't want them parading topless in front of elementary schools. What's wrong with swimming topless in the public pool?
I mean, I have a hard time dissenting. Like, I don't have a problem with it. It's
Right.
fine.
Right.
Like,
Oh my God, children are gonna see boobs.
oh no.
Yeah.
We make them eat from them for 8 months, and then
And then we cut them off.
we cut them off. No more
Well,
nipple.
cut off their access to them, I should say. Let me clarify.
Yeah. So it says here, the city decided not to appeal the decision this month, spending hundreds of thousands of dollars on legal battle already. So they were just like, we don't want to spend any more money on this. The decision to not move forward with the appeal effectively legalizes the practice in 6 states covered by the 10th Circuit Court, because this is that level. It's like a regional court decision, not just a state or local one. So women will now be able to go topless in Colorado, Kansas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Wyoming, and Utah. Boom, boom, boom.
Name 6 states where you probably don't want to see boobs anyway. How about California and Florida? Can we see those boobs?
Yeah. Let's see. Utah topless. I want to see, because there was some freak out here where they said, no, we still have state laws that override this, so don't get excited. Oh, there it is. Fox 13 Utah reports this. So here's a little follow-up to that fun little story. Federal Appeals Court changing blah, 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 blah. Does not immediately mean Utah women can start baring their breasts, at least not yet. The 10th Circuit Court ruling in Free the Nipple versus Fort Collins. That was the name of the actual court case, by the way. Free the Nipple. That's pretty good.
Free the nipple.
Generated a lot of buzz, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. The shorter answer is no, because the case is out of the 10th Circuit, which addresses statute in Fort Collins. To the extent the ordinance is problematic from an equal protection standpoint, it applies to the ordinance itself. It's a lot of legal mumbo-jumbo. Let's see. The appeal presents a narrow question. Did the district court reversibly err in issuing the preliminary injunction? We answer no, says Judge Gregory Phillips in his 2-page ruling, which was released last February. Let me skip ahead here. Okay, the other came. They had an escort go to this hearing from Utah. It says here, if you say a woman's breast is scandalous, they're going to think it's scandalous, and the court says we need to get over that. The escort, it's a he, whom he would not name, was cited in Salt Lake City Justice Court after baring her breasts in what became an undercover police sting. Oh, man.
Undercover, that seems just funny. Just to give that phrase.
It's a good use, right? I think it's pretty solid.
Exactly.
Anyway.
So great. So now we have pot and free boobs. So Colorado now best place in the country to live.
Seems like the greatest state in the union currently.
Kind of does. Yeah. What is the Venn diagram of states that allow recreational marijuana and states that allow toplessness? I think Colorado is the only one in that little Venn diagram.
Yeah.
Because Kansas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, Utah, Wyoming. Oh, Wyoming, I think might be.
They're not doing
Might be.
pot yet, are they? I don't think they are.
Are they? Maybe not.
It might be on the ballot. It's always on the ballot, though, right? Everywhere.
Always on the ballot.
Yeah. Your Venn diagram's not a circle. It's the shape of Colorado.
Right. Exactly. Yes.
It's just the big shape of the state. That's a chart you just waste money making. Just say, go look at the state.
Lobster Shaver says Oregon allows full nudity. It doesn't.
No, it doesn't. I mean, maybe in strip clubs or something.
Yeah.
Maybe. Because we're talking about anywhere, right? Like,
Right,
the idea is
exactly,
that you
yes.
can just get out there and go, woo, look at my boobs.
Lobster Shaver is really insistent that Oregon allows full nudity. Hold on. I don't know how you
Yeah, how
full
do you
nudity
search
where? Like you can.
in all of Oregon? Okay, here we go. Public nudity in
here we go.
Oregon. Where can and can't legally be done? Okay, so it's okay. They have a clothing optional area. They have clothing optional areas. Public areas like beaches and stuff. Not beaches, but like whatever you want to call it, like recreation sites.
Sure, like parks and stuff.
So, for example, Ashland says it's illegal for anyone over 8 to intentionally expose his or her genitalia while in an exterior public place. In Happy Valley, Oregon, you can't expose your genitals in public if the exposure reasonably can be expected to alarm or annoy another person. Portland and Eugene use almost the exact same language. They ban nudity in public. So it's not quite the big, happy, everybody's naked idea the chat room's trying to explain to us, are they? Is it?
No, but I do like the idea of the naked bike ride, which, is...
Oh, I hate that idea. You know why? Let me tell you why.
Right.
If I'm going on a naked bike ride,
Mm-hmm.
topless is fine. But I don't want my keister on that seat. I don't want naked people sitting on a seat. Do you know what I mean? That's just that's nasty.
Right.
So, some of your butt butter they could use, maybe? But
that's even
butter.
worse. Like you're behind somebody on their bike and there's this goo coming off the back of the seat behind their butt. I think that's worse.
That's so gross.
As Jerry Seinfeld would say, that's bad nudity. There's good nudity and bad nudity.
He's right. I think naked bike riders is bad nudity. I'm just gonna put it out there.
I think you're right.
All right, we're going to take a break-in, Hyman. When we come back, we're going to... That didn't come out right.
Appropriate.
We're going to... I mean, yes. Appropriately very inappropriate. All right. What was I saying? Oh, we're going to take a break. Bill's coming up. We don't know what he's talking about yet, but I'm sure it'll be great. And then I got questions for Jury, so come on back for all of that. Before that, though, a song. Brian, do you have one?
Yeah, let's go to L.A. This is the first band in a long time that I can think of that reminds me of the punk band Sonic Youth. Very, very much kind of in that style, in that vein of Sonic Youth. This is a band called Kills Birds. They're from LA. Their brand new self-titled debut LP is out now, just came out. And they have the first single from that, which is called Volcano, from the album Kills Birds by the band Kills Birds. Here's the song, Volcano.
I'm a vampire! 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 I'm a vampire!
Very sensitive button.
The morning stream. Am I still here? Hello?
All right, we're back. Yes, a clip from this last week's Film Sack, which people should check out if they have but a moment, because it's pretty great.
Vampire! I'm a vampire!
It's so bad.
Like one of 11 different accents that Nicolas Cage affects in that movie.
Yep. I worry for him in that thing. Like, I'm surprised he made it out, to be honest. That thing was really weird. Anyway, hey, we're back, everybody. A reminder that if you like the show and you like what we're putting out there into the ether, go support us at patreon.com/TMS. That's patreon.com/TMS. Lots of good stuff there, and we highly recommend it. We're now going to call Bill Duran, all the way from punishedprops.com, who will join us forthwith and discuss things in the world of making shit. Which, I say that, but it's more than that. It's just an amazing time to spend with a good friend. So here you go.
But Bill just isn't thinking about danger.
I hear a cat. Is that a cat?
My cat is just all over the microphone. I don't know what she's doing.
Wow.
Thanks, Willow. Thanks for that.
Did you give her some of that weird green drink? Is that the way a cat reacts to that weird green drink?
Wow, I was very intense. Hey, it's Bill Duran, everybody, all the way from punishedprops.com. He builds things, makes things. He's in that world, so he comes and talks to us about how we might make a thing or two and catch up with what he's doing. So, Bill, what's going on?
I made a thing, finished it, made a video about it too.
Nice.
Hard to believe.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So a few months ago, I finally went and watched all of the show Steven Universe for the first time. Hadn't seen it before. Highly recommended, and I loved it. It's just whimsical and fun, and it's got a great message. And there's a ton of cool stuff in it. especially his mom's sword, Rose Quartz's sword. As soon as I saw it, I don't know why I wanted to make it, because it's not rusty and like it's not the sort of thing a space gun. I make dirty, rusty sci-fi stuff. This is a pink, perfectly clean, sparkly sword, and I really wanted to make it, so I did.
I feel like this is this seems like new territory for you. You've never really made I don't know, something that's
an
like
animated.
That. Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, something from an animated thing.
Right, which is tricky. So I've made a couple things from anime before, and for this one in particular, I got a thanks, Willow. Okay, let's just go along there. Okay, she's yelling at me. Anyway, I found basically a character sheet from the show of the sword, and it really just showed like different levels of detail. So if the character's way in the background wielding the sword has less detail on it. They don't have to draw as much. Mm-hmm. But it was clear that the sword had no dimension to it. There were parts of it that were just the zero thickness, and you can't have that in the real world. So I went and 3D modeled this thing, and I had to sort of take some artistic liberty on a couple of the parts, because that's what you do when you translate something from 2D to 3D. So
sure.
So yeah, I whipped it up in Fusion 360. I 3D modeled the whole thing. I designed it so that I could run a 1/4-20 threaded rod down the length of the blade and through the handle. The blade is yay long, like 3 feet long, and I can't print that whole thing on my printer, so I cut it up into little pieces.
Mm-hmm.
I think like 5 or 6 parts with a cylinder, a whole tube running through the length of it, so I could run a threaded rod through all of those blade parts, sandwich them together, and they'd be nice and sturdy.
Sure, makes sense.
Yeah. And that ended up working really well. But I also put on each connection point a pair of holes to put like an 1/8 inch steel rod for registration. So each part had 3 rods going through it, so they would be perfectly lined up.
Just a little short piece that basically goes a little bit into each side. Okay.
Mm-hmm. You could probably do something similar and run like a pair of threaded rods or 3 rods down the length of it or whatever. Mm-hmm. But I find that the more registration you have, the more likely when you push those pieces together, they're going to match up perfectly, which is what I wanted. So all the parts I ended up printing on my Ultimaker using ABS, because I like ABS because it's easy to sand.
Right.
I know a lot of people have lots of opinions of lots of different filaments. I just happen to like that one.
Yeah. Are you normally? I mean, I would, if I was to guess about this sword ahead of knowing anything you're doing here, I would have said, "Oh, he'll do this out of foam. Like this will be totally a foam project."
Yeah.
When did that? Was that ever part of the consideration, or was it always going to be, printed and done in ABS?
Thought about it, but I wanted it to have a super, super smooth, like glossy finish.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying that's impossible with foam. It's just that working with a 3D printed material that's more rigid means I can sand it super duper smooth.
Mm-hmm.
A lot easier than trying to do something like that with foam.
Sure.
But you're right. It would make it would definitely make a great foam build.
I'm looking at. I love. Is the stuff you put down on your printer, this thing you call ABS slurry? Is it really called that? Because I love the word slurry. I don't hear it enough.
It's a good word.
Is it? Okay. But it's real. Like you're making it looks like what you're doing here is making, like, I didn't know that would have ABS in it.
So that's exactly what it is. So my printer has a glass bed, and before printing ABS, I will take this slurry, which is just acetone that I have dissolved ABS filament into. So it's like a thick plastic goo, and I'll brush that on the glass bed of my printer, and it leaves a thin film. And that really helps specifically with ABS to keep it from peeling up, which tends to be a problem with ABS. I also built an enclosure around my printer to keep the heat in, and it prints awesome. Like it prints ABS really well.
Yeah. Just how smooth. I mean, the sanding and the. I imagine you're doing that multi-step sand prime.
Yeah.
To get these things smooth, but geez, just how smooth and perfect this stuff looks is amazing.
Yeah. So that's the thing though, with like if I make a Star Wars blaster, right? The Star Wars world is dirty and grimy and everything's beat up and old. So I make the Star Wars blaster, and if I end up like dropping it while I'm making it, and it gets scratched, I'm like, that's part of the story. We'll leave it in there. With this sword, I couldn't do that. Any ding or scratch is just gonna show up like a sore thumb. So I had to be really, really particular. I actually ended up gluing some of the parts together using acetone and more of that ABS slurry. So when I was pushing the blade pieces together, I just brushed acetone on the faces that were gonna touch and just mashed them together. That seemed to work really well. To fill in the seams between all of them, I used a hot knife and just some more ABS filament and just melted the seam together and then sanded that smooth, and that worked really well too.
Oh man, look at that thing.
Yeah.
You know,
and then I painted it pink.
I can't believe you made a cartoon sword look cool. I can't believe you did that. That's crazy to me.
Yeah, it's really cool.
It is really super duper cool.
Yeah.
Painting was really fun. Lots of different shades of pink, but I mixed in some metallic or some like, I don't know, some metallic fleck in there, so it's got nice shimmer. And then we made a gem for it. And then the finish, the clear coat on the end there is like a catalyzed automotive glossy clear coat. So it's just ultra glossy, and it really shows off the sparkle in the paint. And it's super duper durable. So
yeah, that's really cool.
I'm over the moon. I'm just so happy with how this silly pink sword turned out.
It's really good. And also I concur with the Steven Universe recommendation. That show is really delightful, and people should watch it.
Great.
Yeah. And also, this would be a perfect sword if someone's willing to go through this work, follow this video, and do your own for, you know, a cosplay convention. People love Steven Universe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, and any character from that universe could have it too. And a couple of the characters use it, but you know, it just fits.
Yeah.
Also, if you guys go check out the video, there's a link somewhere in there to download the files too, if anyone wants to print and make their own.
Oh, very nice.
Oh, cool.
Oh, look at Mr. Generous over here. Very nice.
Yeah.
Look at Mr. Generous.
Very generous today. Well, Bill, that's awesome. Do go check it out, you guys. punishprops.com, and you can find this build and many others that you're going to be interested in. I can guarantee you that. You always leave us a little bonus piece. What do you got this week?
I do. Alex, the French guy who cooks, did a video recently. He is upgrading the island in his kitchen, the middle island part, and he did a really fun motorized hack for his trash can so that he can be like cutting up meat, and then he can have the trash can pop out the side of this island, and he can throw it away, and then the trash can retracts and he doesn't have to touch it. It's very clever and really fun video.
Amazing. That's amazing.
So if you look up a trash can hack on YouTube, you'll find it.
He looks like the kind of guy that will absolutely leave one of his hairs in the food he's making for me, though. I'm just sure of it. Anyway, go check that out. That's Hacking My Trash Can. Never have to touch it again, he says. What's his name? Alex? What's his channel? Just Alex? Not just Alex, is it? What is it?
Alex French Guy Cooking.
There
I
you
guess
go.
he's changed it to just Alex.
All right.
Just
well, there you
Alex.
go. Well, that's awesome. Bill Duran, everybody. Punishprops.com, of course. Chimbeard on Twitter. Bill, have a fantastic week, man.
You too, guys.
Bye now.
Bye-bye.
See you. It's great.
All right. That's good stuff.
It's really good stuff.
Okay, why can't I focus on Brian? There. This thing changed.
Focus on me!
I have to get used to the change. Okay, we're going to get Jury up in here. Because that's what we do. It's Tuesday. Part of Tuesday is him. And we're going to play the right intro, not the Tom one. Here we go.
These are their stories.
Oh, I'm terrible with names.
Welcome to the program, everybody. Justin Robert Young, fresh off of some sweet wrestling action last night. Well, you weren't wrestling, but you went and saw some. It's good to have you here.
I did.
Oh, yeah. How'd that go? Oh, crank up your volume a little, will you? Just a tad.
I don't know why, for whatever reason, like I'm blowing it out on my board. You're the only person that has me like totally blowing out everything.
I don't
so
know
you
why.
can hear me.
I don't know why either. Yeah, you sound good now though.
Pump up the volume. Pump up the volume.
So how did that go? You weren't even at your own fall film thing.
Movie draft.
Movie draft.
What do you mean? What do you mean? My team drafted.
No, I know they did, but you weren't there to
Yeah.
like screw with everybody like you do. You know? Like you're always.
I mean, screw with everybody. I don't know. I mean, there's a fun gathering of fellows, and everybody makes their choices by their own logic. I don't understand to screw with people. I mean, that's what a scurrilous accusation you levy toward me so early in the morning.
Yeah, it is a very, clearly baseless. I have no previous experience with this to even use as a basis for it. So you're right. I don't know what I was thinking.
Yeah, look, I mean, I unfortunately had all right. In truth, I totally forgot that I had these tickets.
Okay.
And I coincidentally also forgot that I had to do the movie draft, and then I remembered, but I am just stupid, that I had to do Next Top Podcasters. So what wound up happening is just a total cluster, and I think I got into double digits of friends I had to disappoint yesterday. So that was pretty good. That was a pretty good start to the week.
Well, if you're gonna disappoint your friends, better to disappoint them all at once than piecemeal.
Yeah.
Exactly, right? I just rolled in and went, double digits.
Big sloth of
just boom, just carpet bomb, like those Vietnam file footage, just like brrrr.
Yep.
Like that was me and my my self-respect amongst my friends.
Well, it was fun.
But the good news is I took it out on the teams that were doing America's Next Top Podcast.
Boy, did you! Holy cow! You're the only person in ANTP history to make somebody cry without even being there.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Oh, did somebody cry?
Yeah. We
somebody might have cried a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. You got a little choked up there at the end, and I just thought, man, a remote you remotely made him a little sad.
Oh no!
But it was still it was actually really good in a weird way.
It was good
to have your thoughts that way. It was weird. I can't explain it. But
it was. Yeah. Well, also we were able, after you would after we'd play one of your very scathing and appropriately accurately disappointed clips, I could at least kind of make a joke afterwards saying, all right, we're going to make that available to you guys all as a ringtone for your phone.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. And look, I mean, obviously it's hard to talk about a show that's not going to come out for another month or whatever. But
2 weeks. 2 weeks. Yeah.
Oh, wow. Oh, we're that close. Okay,
yeah, we're on a much closer time frame on this one.
But yeah, I was thinking yesterday whether or not I would have been as harsh if I was on there, and I'd like to think that I would. I like to think that I wouldn't have pulled many punches, with it. But
no, I think that's what struck me. Is it seemed like that was what I would have expected to hear from you if you were there in person. The only difference being you may have had some follow up to Jenny or me or something else for clarification, or like there may have been some of that, but your actual raw thoughts that you would normally bring in person, that felt like that to me.
Yeah.
So
and it was helpful. I think to be honest, in retrospect, that was a pretty tough challenge to make for their second go round. So
I actually don't think so.
You don't think so? Okay.
And we're gonna risk getting into like talking about why
spoilers and stuff. Yeah, maybe. Maybe.
Well, but just I think that was a lot of people took, I think, the wrong lesson from week one.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. And I think they wanted to bury it in process and not authenticity.
See, so this is exactly what I'm saying. This is the sort of follow up he would have had. We would have heard this at the end. Sure. But other than that, it was interesting to see that.
Other than that, I just skipped right into making the stranger cry, which is just another. Just a solid 12 of my best friends that I disappointed, and then that little maraschino cherry on top is making a stranger cry.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, me, Justin Robert Young, good person.
Yeah, nailed it. So I thought today we typically dive a little bit into what's happening around the world politically.
Pile of garbage I am. Yeah. Oh my God.
So other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the rest of it?
I'm gonna see. They have everything else on demand in this stupid town. I'm gonna see if I can get a hair suit by 10 a.m. and then just flog myself on Twitch until my back bleeds.
It's not even.
Not
It's
at
probably
all.
not against their terms of service.
Asshole I am.
It'll be fine.
Not at all.
All right. Well, then let's dive into where you're not an a-hole. The world of politics.
Sure.
So I just have one question. All this Whistlegate stuff going on, and if people don't know what I'm talking about, I guess go look it up. You think it's going to hurt or help Biden's chances? Because it's this weird dichotomy of everyone's accusing the president of a actually impeachable treasonous thing that happened in July. And, you know, they may or may not release the transcripts. It's got more Republicans showing concern than usual. You know, it seems like kind of a big deal. But he and his campaign are twisting this to be, this is a Biden problem, and we're saving you from this problem.
Well, should we lay it out? Should we lay it out?
You should lay it out, because I'm terrible at laying it out. Because I'm not. I have to admit, like, some of the rules that they're claiming are being broken here, and the whistleblower procedures that happened are like weirdly encouraged
all right, hold
after
on.
Snowden,
Hold
but
on,
now
hold on.
not so much. Like, it's a lot of complicated stuff. So you better do it. I'm not
Yeah.
going to do it.
So, all right. Technically, here's what we know. We know that there was a whistleblower, an intelligence community whistleblower report filed. We reportedly, this whistleblower complaint centers around a call that Donald Trump made on July 25th to the Ukrainian President Zelensky, who, by the way, randomly is an actor who was the president on a sitcom in the Ukraine that got elected the actual president. That's a fun little footnote.
Wow, really?
No one
Yeah.
talks about that. Yeah, that's awesome.
So he's a really funny guy, which is like an element of this that is not yet unfolded, is that they actually just did I don't know whether or not it surfaced because of this or and it happened a while ago, but he did a whole thing where the world community was like a group text message. That was very funny. Look it up. Anyhow,
All right.
there was a state phone call between Trump and Zelensky on the 25th. Reportedly, in that phone call, and now Donald Trump has said that this was the case, Trump brought up a long-standing grievance that Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Joe's son, who we can get into some fun Hunter Biden facts in a second, but he was on the board of directors for a Ukrainian gas company. Ukraine, specifically when it comes to industries that its state intercedes in, has notoriously been corrupt. That is not me saying it in the terms of our modern political lens. It's how Zelensky, an actor from a sitcom, got elected president of the country. So this has been a grievance on the right for a very long time that, number one, why is Joe Biden's son on the board of directors of a Ukrainian gas company? Two, was the gas company being investigated? Three, did the prosecutor who was investigating them get shuffled off because Joe Biden pushed for that prosecutor to be shuffled off? Now, the official, state of play in the Ukraine is that the prosecutor's case against Burisma was dormant by the time that he was sent off. That Joe Biden was only echoing what was being said by many other people, and therefore it is not a case of favoritism or corruption while Biden was the vice president of the United States. So
Okay.
that's the background, right? Trump then asks Zelensky to look into this. And what we don't know, or at least was reported by the Washington Post yesterday, is that the other side of this is, did Donald Trump specifically hold foreign aid for the Ukraine on the condition that the Ukraine reopen an investigation into Hunter Biden and Burisma? So as far as Donald Trump has said out loud in answering questions, he did speak to Zelensky about Biden, but it was because they are concerned about the corruption in the Ukraine, and with the new president coming in, he wanted to make sure that they had a good faith actor. So that's what that is.
Okay.
That's where we are now.
All right.
As for the impeachment stuff, I mean, number one, I don't think that anything is real until A, the transcript gets released, or B, the administration refuses to release the transcript. As of yesterday, Donald Trump said he was considering releasing it. I personally think that it would show a tremendous lack of learning anything from the Mueller investigation, that the Democrats start committing to impeachment before they know the actual state of play, because it seems like that's exactly what they did with the Mueller investigation, and it didn't exactly help them when they could have reframed it as something that they were pushing for obstruction instead of collusion, which is a much harder thing to prove. This is a very hard thing to prove. You need somebody from inside the White House to say that definitely this aid was being held up. You have to have the transcript show that there was a quid pro quo set up and that Donald Trump was dumb enough to do it during a monitored state phone call. You know, these are things that can rally people to your cause, but it's going to be hard to impeach, and it's going to be even harder to remove going forward. But that's my thought. As far as the Biden thing goes, I don't know.
I mean, do you think it? I guess what I'm saying is, does it? Well, I guess we don't know until we know. Like, I don't know what polls are saying or whatever, but I just wondered if this would have that weird knockback effect of affecting his popularity, because the way the president. But I guess if whoever's going to vote for Biden or who's already supporting Biden, nothing Trump says is going to change that. So maybe it doesn't change.
No. I mean, really, the biggest thing for Biden is. Number one, this puts him in a head-to-head, one-on-one confrontation with Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If you want, rare is it that you get an opportunity to preview what a general election will look like. If you watch Biden talking about this and you're like, I don't know, that's very bad for Biden, because part of the reason why he is in a front-running position is because of electability.
Mm-hmm.
If he does not have that electability, then that's a tremendous thing for him to protect, or for him to try to work forward. On the other side, if he looks great and he's taking Trump to task and he's leading the charge for impeachment, because how dare somebody try and subvert national intelligence for the sake of winning an election, then that's great for him. That would probably allay some of the slurring fears, because when it counts, when the rubber meets the road, look at that's our boy Joe Biden giving the president what for?
Coherent and yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, you know, I think the larger element of it is that whether or not this ends in impeachment, what we have had right now is an opening into the world of Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden, a recovering addict. He obviously had this international, whether or not you believe that there is fire to the smoke, certainly not something that you would want on your resume when your father's running for president. And then there's the kind of gossipy stuff, like the fact that he left his wife so he could start a relationship with his brother's widow.
Whoa. Really?
Yes.
I didn't know about any of that. Hunter Biden getting it on, getting it out there, putting it in. Woo! That's no good.
So yeah, Beau Biden died, and Hunter Biden left his wife to start a relationship with the widow.
Wow. And Beau Biden's the one that had that horrible brain cancer thing.
Yeah.
Oh, that's gnarly, dude. Mm-hmm. Moving in with your brother's wife. I mean,
I know. Yeah, that's.
Whoa.
So again, with that door opened, right now, a rival campaign of Biden's can just kind of float these things out there, that is just like, oh, I mean, do we really? Because if somebody might say something now, like on the debate stage, Donald Trump's gonna bring up,
For
Hunter
sure.
Biden sleeping with his brother's widow.
Oh yeah.
So that's to me, that's the other question, is that this entire process has kind of left a big old sword on the ground. Will any of the other Democratic candidates decide to pick it up and start hacking?
Yeah, that's the question. And also, it seemed okay. So if he wins the primary, he's got that stuff that Trump will leap on. If Elizabeth Warren ends up in there, it'll be the Pocahontas thing. He won't let that go. It seems like he's
It'll
got
be
a little
all about all the high cheekbones.
right. And it seems like with every candidate, he's trying. If he hasn't found, he will try to find some little leaky thing.
And he'll develop a nice little pithy nickname about it too.
Yeah, Sleepy Joe Biden. I don't know what he calls Elizabeth Warren. I guess just Pocahontas Warren or whatever he does.
Pocahontas, yeah.
And then what does he call? Oh, it's just crazy. Bernie Sanders doesn't have as much punch, but maybe there's something there like I don't know.
Oh, I mean, if he runs against Bernie or Warren, it'll be America will never be a socialist country. I mean, that's going to be the line.
Yeah.
Is that these guys want to totally abolish your health insurance, like the before at least Obama had the decency to lie to you with if you like your doctor, you can keep him. This is full-fledged socialism coming to the United States. Like, that's what I mean. Look, he's already road tested that with the State of the Union and some of his stump speeches and everything. So I think that's fairly clearly going to be his line if any of those two run. If Joe Biden runs, then it's going to be, I think he worries most about Joe Biden just because electorally, Joe Biden is strong in places that Trump needs.
Yeah.
That being said, I don't know. I wonder.
Yeah. If Kamala Harris got there, this is what I would want to have happen. I would want her to get him so worked up in a debate that he finally just accidentally drops the N-word. That's what I want.
Oh,
now, the reason I want it is because I know he wants to say it.
Yeah.
I just know it's in there. He just got to
There we
let
go.
it out.
All right,
let
put
that
it
dog
out there right now. Scott dreams of the president saying the N-word.
So,
I guess
God desperately wants the president to say the N-word.
but here's my other concern. If he does do it, part of me thinks that his base will love it if he did it. Like, they would just revel in it. They would be like, yeah, finally, another troll moment that nobody can react to properly. Like, nobody can out troll him.
Sure.
So
I mean, they say it in rap songs. I thought she loved Tupac while she was in college.
Yeah, I don't know. He probably won't, but I want him. I don't know why I want him to. Eoxy says why? Because all Republicans are racist? No, of course not. I think Trump is, though. I don't know why you would ask that. We're not talking about all Republicans. We're talking about him. We're talking about one guy, and I just want him to drop the F-bomb. Reportedly, there's tape somewhere of him doing it constantly on the set of freaking The Apprentice, and we're never going to hear that because Mark, whatever his name is, yeah, he's not letting that out. So let's have it on a national stage. Let's just get him just to say it. I mean, Jedi 71's probably right. You'd have a bunch of violence from it. Like, it would be a bad thing for the country. I just want him to say it because I know he wants to say it because I think he's that level of douchebag. But I know there are repercussions, so I'm not actually wishing for this, okay, everybody? All right.
He's only dreaming. He's not wishing. It's
Right.
just a passive thought.
It's just a passive
not
thought.
an active thought.
No.
It's just we all dream weird things, right?
I'm just having it come
Everyone's
right.
got weird dreams. You've got dreams that you don't want to admit to. Scott just has the bravery to admit on his very popular podcast that he wishes the president would say the N-word.
I am just floating. I'm putting in a floater, sending in a floater. That's all. That's all it is.
Sure.
Hey, spoiler alert! I believe that the vast majority of our presidents are racist. I think that we're in the like mid 90% on
that high. Wow.
Yeah.
Higher than I thought.
What part of like our last 200 plus years do you think that there's not a few statements here and again that you would say in 2019? Ooh, little racist there, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's true.
I mean, people get canceled for like random stuff. John Wayne got canceled from a Playboy interview he did in the 50s. And everyone's like, what? John Wayne was a racist? Get out of here.
And he's dead. He's not even here
certainly
to...
the first 11.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just saying. He came close to... I felt like he was going to call Hillary Clinton a bitch in the middle of that thing. Because during those, and what he settled for was what a nasty woman.
Did
or
you
whatever
dream for or wish for that one?
I wished for it.
was that a non-prophetic dream or a wish unfulfilled?
I wished for it because I just want, if you're gonna be, if we're all about being ourselves and whatever, go ahead, be yourself. Drop those N words. Call her a B. Let's go all the way, yo. Let's get in there. Let's get all the way down in the dirt and kick it around and eat shit and.
I don't know what kind of defense mechanism this is where you're snapping. Like something got to a level that you would just beat snapping.
It's just like it's like I'm doing, it is like.
Hey, hep cat.
Hey.
To beat poetry, sure.
Well, the late 50s never died. All right, that's it. Hey, so Justin, you got a lot of other things going on, probably other tickets you forgot about and a million other things. Why don't you tell people where to go and how to get it and do it? You guys have Night Attack tonight, first one from the new studio, I take it, something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
Night Attack tonight, and of course, politics. You can get it on the podcast stuff, and I'll be politics streaming right after TMS at twitch.tv/Justin R. Young.
There you go, Justin R. Young. Take it easy today. Have a good one, and may all your wrestlers be. I don't know, but what would they be? May all your wrestlers be sexy.
Be oily and skimpily dressed.
Nailed it. That's what I was looking for. All right. Watching a couple of people have a fight in the chat room. That's always fun. Politics, baby.
Oh, no.
Well, just a little bit of a snappy argument. Let's call it
Gotcha.
that.
Yep.
All right. We didn't do a thing yesterday that I meant to do, and I totally forgot to do. So, Jamie, my apologies to you for not doing it. But we had a mashup yesterday because it was Monday. We do the Monday mashup, and I forgot.
Yeah.
So today we're going to play it, and it's a little extra long, so I don't feel too bad about that because I missed it yesterday, so we'll play it today. It's 2 minutes, 20 seconds. It's called Did That Bother You? Let's find out what it is.
All right.
That time Donkey Kong licked my chode. I have no idea. Look out. Hey, we're coming through, eh?
Get out of the way, hoser.
Get out of the way, hoser. We're coming through, eh?
That's it. If I can't pick your bum, I'm leaving.
No, I can't do that. 7 o'clock always has to be AM for me. Rare.
Like I'm not anywhere near an inch most of the time. So, oh, don't capture that out. That's a cheap one. That's a too easy one. That's too easy.
Oh, that's all right. That's you got to do it.
Softball over the plate to freaking Jamie.
How can I watch my Wheel of Fortune now without an E? You're going to throw off the whole Wheel of Fortune economy. Pat Sajak's not going to live forever, you dipshits.
Don't let nobody pick your bum.
Shake it up. If you want to make new ones, you got to have the semen.
It's like waking up and it's always June. Find notes that explain your doom.
When we come back, Tom will be here. We're going to do a little Tom sex time. We do have sex time. Did I just say Tom sex time? I think I did.
Did you really?
I think I said Tom sex time. Kyle injected her with some kind of Bigfoot gene or something. Well, that's kind of a gross thought. Let's not.
I mean, you can call it injection. You jumped back. These nipples are too soft. They need hardening.
I want to know what it is, too. You can't get it out of your Jedi underwear.
Sebulba's going to win the race, Anakin. I put all my money on Sebulba.
Turtle made it to another turtle.
Yeah. Turtle has achieved orgasm.
A turtle has achieved a climax.
Oh.
You could look at Exhibit A. I've actually caused a lot of men's penises to shrink when I shook hands with them. They just go right back in their body.
Oh my gosh, dude.
Did that bother you, Lois?
Oh.
Lois, did that bother you? Lois? Lois, did that bother you, Lois?
Do it in the Peter voice and then repeat
Lois, 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 did that bother you? Lois, Lois, hey Lois, did that bother you?
That's a good one today.
We haven't heard from Lois since we did that whole thing. You think she's done? Did she rage quit the show?
I don't know. She might be out. No more taffy lady.
Wow.
It was Taffy, Mrs. Taffy lady, right?
Yeah, it was Mrs. Taffy guy, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll find out next time.
No more taffy for us.
Well, that brings us to a close, everybody. Big thanks to everybody for joining us today. Great show, as always. Had a blast. Don't forget to go to frogpants.com/TMS if you're trying to get a hold of us or find old shows or look at our archive feed or any of that stuff. It's all there. YouTube channel as well, by the way. We put all the shows we do up on YouTube after they're done. So if you really are pining for the video version of the show, there's a link at frogpants.com/TMS. It'll take you straight to the YouTube channel, and off you go. All right, that's it. We have another song probably to play. Yeah,
we do. Yeah,
all
yeah.
right.
Just something to get you in the mood for sex time with Tom tomorrow.
Okay.
Brian Hitchcock wrote in. He goes by the name Gray Malkin 13. He says, "Greetings, Scorpion and Boomerang. It's September 24th again, and time to celebrate another successful year of not dying with a loud metal cover. Last year was Evil Zombies. This year, Dragons. For my birthday cover, I would like to hear Queen's Dragon Attack covered by Testament. Oh, and Scott, could I have a supple, snappy pork belly hen farmstead?"
Oh, what the hell's that? Oh,
that's a tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch.
Oh yeah, he threw me there. This would be like Puzzle Pint where I'd lose because I didn't know what
right.
he meant. All right, hold on. Where is it?
A supple, snappy pork belly hen farmstead.
Wait, now I got it. Okay, I found it.
The tender crisp bacon cheddar ranch.
That sounds good right
Darius
now.
Rucker. Does sound really good.
Yeah.
Might have to do something about that for lunch today. All right, thanks for the show and the many years to come. Signed, Brian Hitchcock. Dragon Attack by Testament. They included this on the bonus version of their 2012 album, Dark Roots of Earth. Here is Testament, rocking it out with some Queen, Dragon Attack.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll have Nicole, Tom, all that stuff. So bring back your Wednesday selves, and we'll see you then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com. Well,
My.
my. All right, let's save that. While we save that. Hello, patrons. It's your bonus content after the show now.
Patrons.
Welcome.
Headache's still here, but